Hey,
Hey.
Andrea. Hey, everybody. This is my friend Andrea. Love. You got to love her name.
Like, love.
Yeah, that's right. Love. That's how she signs her paintings. She is a wonderful, beautiful person inside and out, but she also creates beautiful works of art. And I have one in my home right there over my mantle that she did especially for me. She measured the space. She got my colors right, the colors that I use in my home. Like, just what a gift, what for some, like inside and out. Like she not only can do this for you, but like she just comes with that full package of just creativity and like seeing like who someone really is and capturing the space perfectly.
Of the person.
Yeah. So anyway, I just got chills even like saying that and trying to describe you. I don't even know if I did a good enough job, but I want you to tell people like how you got started. You can go back to your background, like where you're from, and then lead up into everything. All right.
Right. First and foremost, Angie is known for her teacups all the time.
Yeah.
So I love plants. And I had an exorbitant amount of the most beautiful Blue Danube teacups. And I was like, what am I going to do with these?
Perfect.
And Angie's always told me to think outside the box with her teacups. And I decided this is one of my beautiful little miniature orchid. And I just put all my favorite little plants in these little teacups. And they make me smile. And, they remind me of so many different things. And I really just try to only put in my house things that bring me joy, right?
Yes. It's purge time.
It is. And only things that will like raise our energy and release us from being stuck with stuff.
I still have stuff. Stuff. And I just stick it like up in the attic or in the back of a closet or in a pile in the corner. And I'm like, it drives me nuts. Like I can't stand it. I can't stand knowing it's there. On my my stairwell going up, I'm like, why? I look forward to like when my husband's gone on, on a camping trip or something, and I can just like throw shit out.
Purge.
And I almost feel bad about even giving it to Goodwill. Like I do give it to Goodwill and all these things, but I'm like, who really needs this crap?
Sometimes you just have to take the item out of the rotation.
That's right. Light it on fire. Maybe I'll start lighting it on fire.
Purge it. Just fire. Say a little blessing. You've been a good item, but it's time to release you.
It's time. Yeah. Okay, well.
All right, so me, very beginning of my life, I knew that I saw color and objects differently than my peers.
There on your bio, on your Twitter bio, you say something about being neurodivergent. Divergent. What does that mean?
It's a new sort of, maybe one of these woke, concepts, but it essentially helps me compartmentalize. I am high anxiety. I am ADHD. I do have PTSD issues. OCD. I have all those things.
Which are actually good things, really.
They are good things.
Like we're taught that they are not, like, and that we need a pill for it.
Right, but for me, it was really great to almost get a label, if you will. People don't like labels, but it actually helps me educate that just because my mind thinks differently than other people doesn't mean that my mind thinks wrong.
Right.
It's just a different way of looking at the world, different way of how my eyes and my mind process things neurologically different.
Uh-huh.
And that's okay.
It is
Uh,
totally okay.
yeah. And so,
Beautiful, actually. I mean, it comes out through in your art.
right. And then
Mm.
I think once I was able to become true to who I am, which is I am high anxiety, I am high energy. I create like you all day long. Like boom, boom.
Yeah, like I can't turn it off.
I can't turn it off. No. And sometimes when people ask me, what are you thinking? Well, what thread do you want?
Yeah.
Like I've got a couple deep threads going, chat threads in my brain is the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
And then there's like 4 or 5 upfront chat threads that might be going on, like paintings, being creative, gardening, what do I want to eat? You know, it's
Spirituality, like just everything all jumbled
it,
up.
right. And then if I'm getting too anxious, that's when I have to go back to my spirit
Ground.
and spirituality and my faith, to ground myself to where I want to be, where I want to go, who do I want to be, and what does that look like? Because if you can't think it, you can't visualize it, you'll never achieve it.
No. And a lot of people have been saying, there's all these little things that people say now, there's all these little catchphrases. And one of them is what we think, like we create our whole world, our whole life with our
Yes.
mind, like what we think we become. So true. So sometimes we need to really like settle into ourselves and really know like what am I really thinking and like what do I really want and how do I
Right.
get all of these things and put them all together into this one soul that I am, one spirit.
Right.
So yeah.
No, definitely. And early part of my life, knowing that I loved color and I was super creative. Essentially, when I went to school, I was fortunate enough that they helped foster, um, a very creative fine art background, if you will,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm sorry, my phone's going off. I have it on silent, but I don't know how to turn it off any other way.
All right.
That's real life, people.
All right.
That's
No
my
problem.
daughter's. That's my daughter at school saying she's good.
Rosie just texted me a little bit ago and she said 11:11.
Yeah,
And then I sent her a picture of my plate of two little quail eggs and she was like, perfect. That's like that means the same thing. That's 1 and 1. Like
oh yeah, it is. It's one up there.
me.
11 is totally one of my numbers that I love.
Yeah.
My birthday is 011181. I'm like surrounded by ones.
Such a youngin'.
I know, such a youngin'. So before my daughter was interrupting us on text, I was saying I was lucky enough that I had a safe environment at my school that pretty much they were like, just, during a period, go to the art room and just totally engross yourself in art and creating everything that you want. And I think that's something that the girls now, boys too, that have high anxiety in school,
Yeah.
they're not having that art therapy, that music therapy, that physical therapy, really going outside
Yeah.
as much as they should,
Definitely. We're on the same page with this.
uh, totally.
Y'all, we have daughters the same age
Age,
and
same
live
school.
in school sometimes together. I mean, we do different things. So sometimes like her daughter will, I guess homeschool some, go to school some. My daughter is saying, Mom, after this semester, can I just do homeschool? Like, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like,
I know.
what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Like,
We want to empower our girls
mhm.
to make educated decisions, right? We don't want to make them all for them.
No,
And high school really is a blip on the radar of life.
it really, really is. A lot of people say they wish they could go back to high school, and I'm like,
The only reason why I would want to go back to ninth grade is to be a like steady bunny and just study as much as possible and not even worry about any of the social.
I would want to go back to ninth grade and do all the things that I wanted to do, even though like my dad told me I couldn't.
Or right, yeah. Or the
No,
yeah,
and be
totally.
like, like one of them was I was nominated like by all the teachers, like to be a mentor.
Uh-huh.
And it was called Teens Leaning on Teens. And my dad said, he had to sign, like your parents had to sign off on this, just
Right.
crazy anyway, for me to even be a mentor to my peers. And he said, you have too many problems of your own. There's no way you could help anyone else. I'll never forget that. So that's why I want to go back to ninth grade. I want to go back.
Totally.
I want to be like mentoring my
No,
peers.
I definitely want to be, I would go back only to do what, yes, I was encouraged not to do.
Yeah.
And that I wasn't strong enough and okay with who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
To say, to go against the grain and say it's
Yeah.
okay, which I think for you and I as moms, that's what we're allowing our children. It's like, you know what? Please take that road less taken.
Yes. Yes.
You know, don't follow.
I got chills because anytime something is said that really resonates, like it's
Oh,
true.
I do too.
Yeah, I get like chills. So yeah.
Well, I think that's our body and our soul
Mhm,
connecting to a higher energy, right?
mhm.
And that's us, it's the energy reminding us that we are still making a difference, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Because if we can't evoke emotion, you know,
What is the rest
why
of the point?
try?
Yeah.
What's the point, right? Yeah. So
Oh, I love this so much. This is
I
so
know it's fun.
like
I hope
that's
people
happy hours.
enjoy our little girlfriend talks.
I know it. Yesterday I got to
We
talk
really
with
talk for
nephew.
hours.
Do
We
what?
can we can really talk for hours,
We
you and
can.
I,
Yeah, we can.
from everything.
Yesterday I got to talk with my friend Beth Hughes with
Yes, from the little light company. I saw a
yeah.
little snippet on it.
It
So
was good
cute.
too. And we were just like,
What is chandelier?
oh yeah,
Hey, chandelier.
chandelier. Yes.
I like to call myself a Sherpa for my children
Yeah.
because I'm guiding them. You touched on this, I think, yesterday on how deep so many different religions are
Yes.
and how many years back they go. And so I really love the study of Buddhism and
Yeah.
Hinduism.
Yes.
And so in the Himalayas, they have Sherpas, and the Sherpas are the ones who help carry your weight up your trek of the Himalayas to, get to the highest point so you can do your prayer. So the Sherpas in real life are really important for, the Nepalese people, and it's a high honor.
Yeah.
So
It's
for
a high
me,
honor to be
I'm a Sherpa for my children.
it is a high honor to be their
Yeah.
mother. Yes, their Sherpa. I love that
So I
analogy.
always say I'm a Sherpa.
Yeah. I love it. I really love it. Yeah, yeah. I got speaking of like Buddhism, I've got like this book over here. I read like way too many books, but they're all over my house.
Never
Just
too
little
many.
mantras everywhere, just
Yes.
reminders of there goes my clock. Got one of those scary clocks. Yeah.
My aunt has more than a dozen, and I think she has them on purpose, not set on the same time,
Oh, so they're just constantly,
so
oh.
that you can hear them all. Yeah, and it's maddening.
Do you remember the one, it was probably back in the 90s, the cheesy, like the fish that would sing,
Oh yeah.
would it sing Don't Worry, Be Happy or something like that? No,
Yeah,
no, no, put me in the water.
I
Put
think there was a
me
bunch
in
of
the river. Anyway,
the bayou down. I'm sure there was plenty to go
if
around.
I found one at a thrift store, I would probably buy it to put on my back porch just for fun. I mean, come on.
Well, you could put one next to Finn's like real one.
There you
Real
go.
fish stuffed,
Yeah,
put it
yeah.
right next to it, like this is my trophy. There's yours. This is mine. Uh-huh.
Well, and speaking about school, didn't
Mhm.
you go to Athens Academy?
I did. I
Okay.
did.
And your first show, so Andrea's got very excited. She's got her first art show where she's going to exhibit her art right before
Is
the holidays. So
November 16th at Athens Academy's Holiday Market. November 16th. It's a Wednesday, Thursday. So the full day of opening, I think, is Thursday. There's a little sneak peek Wednesday night, sort of opening. Sort of
right,
thing.
where people can get excited and be like, I know what I want, like, or go ahead and purchase, I guess. But I know.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited because um, it's a great opportunity. Obviously, they've been putting it on for so many years, and they just have it down pat. The Christmas feeling, the theme. It's inside, so it's a little bit cozier than normal, maybe art shows
Right.
that are outside in a tent. And so it's a much different experience. And it challenged me this year to actually come up with my own um, Christmas ornament line. So I'm hand making Christmas ornaments. And I'll have a whole tree decorated that you can either buy the whole tree or buy, or a la carte buy, the different Christmas ornaments. So my kids and I have always made handmade Christmas ornaments. And we've always tried to do different themes every year. So I thought that this was a really cool introduction to my personal home style, bringing it, to the masses to sell.
Yeah.
So, and it's made with love. It's handmade with love, and everything. Also, probably my child has had their little hands on it too. Yeah. I have a whole assembly line where it's probably not fun for them, but it's fun. It's fun for my OCD Christmas making.
Love it.
It is. It's fun.
You'll have your ornaments, but then you'll also have your art.
Yes, I'll have my art. So I have like this big piece. I have this new little sort of abstract, or it's big abstract behind me. And I think I have about 100 sort of little pieces that will be at all price points. I'm trying to do everything from $25 gifts, handmade gifts, all the way up to my biggest painting will be, $1,300. But those are, big 48 by 48, one of a kind, one off, sort of like what you have above your mantle. And everything in between, which I think is going to be fun.
Don't sell my cow.
I had to, but
you sold it already.
Oh, but it's so beautiful. It's in the most beautiful restored French chateau in Athens.
Okay.
And it looks beautiful. But I know she loves cows. And I was like, really? You like cows? Okay. So it just means I have to do another one.
Yes, you do. You have to do another one.
I know.
Actually, have you seen where the cow down the road I've taken my selfie with? I call him Leon, and his name is actually like Bruiser or something like that. But the owner even said, "Oh, Leon fits him," so they're calling him Leon now too.
Might as well.
They saw my post on Twitter, and so now, Leon, the cow down there that likes to look at the sunrise. Maybe I want you
the early 2000s. Didn't Athens have a whole bulldogs on parade or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Where there was like 13 or 14 different bulldogs that were painted all different colors.
Yeah.
That's sort of like the cow thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. We need Leon. I need a Leon.
You do need a Leon. I agree. I'm trying to think what she named hers. She named it funny too. I'll have to. That's a funny little name. It'd be even funnier if it's Leon.
Yeah. I don't know why Leon just was like, Leon.
It's cute. It's cute. I'll have to do another one.
Oh, good. I had a feeling that thing got snatched up.
I had it in my studio forever, and then um, my client came over and saw it and was like, "This will just be perfect in my French kitchen," and it is. It's gorgeous.
Oh,
Like
I need to see.
this
Um,
house is really. She's done one of the most classiest renovations of like a 19, an Athens 1970s mansion special.
yeah.
And it looks really nice now. So
Oh,
he's
good.
got it. The bovine has a good home.
He's living it. He's living
He
it.
is.
He's living,
Hmm.
living good.
He is.
living
He
right.
is. He's
Well, the
definitely.
whole reason like that I need this cow is because here where we built this
It
house,
was that right. That's what inspired me
yeah,
was
it
the
used to be a cow
y'all
farm. Yeah, this was a cow farm.
cattle
When you
farm.
come over my driveway, it's a cattle grate that you drive over. It
Yes.
was my husband's grandfather's cow farm. And so um cows used to graze here. And we haven't put any chemicals here,
Uh-huh.
all this time. So I know that this is a completely
Oh yeah.
organic soil that I'm growing everything in here too. So anyway, I don't know why I got on that tangent, but
Yeah.
but
That's our ADD people.
you can go in any kind of direction.
Yeah, and the thought patterns,
Mhm.
we go like this. But it's fun to be with a creative person like you, because I think we help encourage each other to be creative. Whereas
Sometimes we
some,
can be around people that don't get it.
oh yeah, totally, they don't get it, and I just say we don't speak each other's love language.
Yeah, that's right.
Like I don't get you, you don't get me, and that's cool.
It's okay.
That's
Yeah,
okay. So
you
yeah,
must like math.
yeah.
And that's cool because
You
I,
like P&Ls, don't you?
yeah. Are you an accountant?
Yeah, exactly. Mhm. Black and white.
Yeah, it's like things I can't do. I mean, I really can't do. I remember when I worked at the bank, like I loved the people part of it so much. But that I was actually in the newspaper 4 years in a row, best bank teller in Athens. It's so silly
We're
that
like,
we used to do that.
"Jesus, way more cash back than we're supposed to."
Oh, I actually did one time.
Like we
It was a whole like there was this woman, she was so sweet, and she would come in all the time to get like ones for her gas station, I think it was. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. But she, I was just, we would be talking and she'd give me like money, she'd say, I need like 201s and whatever. And I went to the vault and I just grabbed a strap of ones.
uh-huh.
Somebody had miswrapped the ones. It was 20s.
Oh, no. You
And
gave her a fat sack.
yeah, he brought it back.
Oh,
He brought it back. I have so many crazy stories about
that's
that
an
bank.
honest woman for you.
Yes, I love her so much. I'm not going to say her name here, but she's still around and I still see her. And every time I see her, I thank her again. Like all these years later, like, he saved me.
She's like, "Thank God I did the right thing. This woman would still be remembering that I didn't give her that."
She just gave me like her zipper bag, the zipper bag.
Oh,
I
right,
just
yeah,
like
yeah. Oh, yeah,
stuck
the
it in
bank bag.
there. And yeah, and she was just on her merry way. And then when she got back to work, and she's like, I can't.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, it was like supposed to be $200. I gave her 2,000.
yeah, exactly. She's like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did a lot of stuff there that I got away with a lot of things. But yeah,
yeah.
just
Those
being
are the days. It was when banking was good.
yeah, we used to have
My
a
dad was a
lady.
banker, so I remember '80s
Okay.
Reaganomics, banking was good.
Yeah. It was such a fun place. I'm glad that I was there. I was there 11 years. And I'm glad I was at that downtown branch where I met
Yeah.
all these folks. But yeah, I don't know how I got on that tangent. Another one. But yeah, just that was the most math I could do was just like count numbers. I still like will see some of these folks that were
Mhm.
my customers then, and the account numbers at Athens First Bank and Trust were 10 digits long.
I
And
bet they
I
still
will
are.
see these people and I will see their account number.
Oh my goodness.
because they were in, like, they were my everydayers, and I was just like,
Right.
0151414710.
Right. You just know that. Yeah.
Like, I don't know your name, but I know your account number.
Sorry.
So, oh, that's weird. But and everybody knew
Look
my
at
name.
people sometimes and look at color and like, oh, you're a '09 NB blonde.
Yeah,
'Cause I also do hair, people,
that's right.
or did do hair. I'd still do hair. I'm never gonna not do hair.
Still do hair.
That's one of those, yeah. It's one of those like, I guess, talents that you never get rid of. It's a craft that you can always
Yeah.
do. So at least I can still do my hair.
Yeah.
And
Andrea used to have her own salon.
did in 5 Points, Athens. It was a cool place in my 20s.
Yeah.
It was a cool little stepping stone, but then also a very concentrated version of the dirty dirties of business
Yeah.
and the nuances of people and how things change when money's involved or real estate's involved or it brings the ugly out in people.
Yeah, it does. 2016, I quit going to the salon. I was having my hair done like once a month,
Yeah.
and so I can imagine, like, if I had owned that place and you had all these different energies coming in all the time.
Oh yeah. No, it sucked me dry. Well, and literally like that, it's sort of, I believe, sort of paved the way for basically, my 30s. And here I am. That energy that you're talking about,
I talk about
and
energy a lot.
I felt like there was a vortex of energy around me that was just sucking everything out of me.
Oh,
And then it did. It physically started affecting me.
yeah.
And I got diagnosed in 2012 with leukemia and lymphoma. And I didn't look at the signs previous. I joke and say, God, I hear you knocking,
Right.
but what do you
Yeah.
really want? What do you want me to see?
Yeah.
Do you want me to open the front door? Do I need to open a window? Do I need to go out the back door? I hear you, but I don't know what I need. And sometimes he takes you out of situations that you didn't know that you needed to get yourself out of?
Right. I keep doing this. It's like,
Yeah.
back in 2008 with, you
Yep.
know, country club girl, mom, stay at home mom,
The bubble, the real estate bubble when that hit.
yeah, the real estate, my husband being a builder. And then thank God that happened, honestly, because I remember like being
It
so
changed who
glad.
you were. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have to put those events on my calendar anymore.
No.
And I dreaded going to. I just,
Uh,
just don't fit in everywhere. And it's okay not to fit in everywhere.
it is okay.
Mhm.
And it's okay. I remember probably around 2015, I had almost like my first little like mental come to Jesus. I guess some people might say mental breakdown, but
Yeah.
I left Mint. I drove straight to my childhood general
Mint
practitioner.
was Andrea's salon. It was
Mint
called Mint
was
Salon.
Mint Salon.
Mhm.
I left Mint at like lunchtime. I was in a whirlwind. I was just in an energy cyclone, if you will.
Yes.
I drove straight to my childhood general practitioner and that I had seen forever. I walked straight up to his real office because it was lunchtime. And I just remember saying, I can't live this lie anymore. And he said, I've never seen you so emotional. I've never seen you so out of control, but you can't have ambition for two. You can't do everything for everyone. You have to look out for yourself.
Yes. I think being out of control is a good thing because if we're just in control, like what is controlling us and what
Right.
is, you know, it's hard to be real when you're just, it's controlled. It's sort of this whole everything matrixy thing that we're in is so controlled, and everybody, we're all doing what we're supposed to do because the control.
Everyone
And
else is,
it's the
right.
same thing with your own self.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's okay to like cry all day and just go scream. I don't know. I can't do this anymore. All I know is I can't do this anymore.
Well, I've always said to grow, you have to experience some sort of pain. And pain, crying, or pain as in feeling a little uncomfortable, in yourself. Um, for me, having those days of crying actually releases so much stress
Yes, me too.
that the next day I actually feel like I am more empowered than I was the day before I was crying.
Yep.
So releasing that is actually probably energy that we don't even need to be carrying around, right?
Some say like
Bogging us down.
yeah, everything is like a purging, like even like your nose watering or tears or
Here.
throwing up. I mean,
Yeah.
some people like
But
I've had an experience in my past where I had already like forgiven this person, but I still we were getting together to kind of supposedly like reconcile or whatever, and this person just still,
repeated the same.
and I just went, I mean, I started crying. I ran outside and I threw up.
Physically.
And I look at that now as like, I remember then, this was several years back, but I remember then thinking, I can't believe I got sick. Like I threw up. And now I look at it like, I got rid of that shit. Like you're
No,
no
if
longer in my life anymore. You
I
don't,
agree.
I don't have to allow you in anymore. I did what I needed to do. I worked on myself. I came over to reconcile, and
Right.
and all I got was,
Yeah.
yes. So anyway, yeah, it's a big deal. I bring this up a lot with my daughters, especially because well, especially my oldest daughter, because she remembers the day, and she's like, I'll never forget that, Mama, because I remember when it happened, and I remember how upset you were, and I remember that you still felt like you weren't enough. And but now, 15
Wow.
years later, I look at
Yeah.
that and go, I threw up that bitch. She's
Yeah.
gone. Like whatever.
Well, if people physically make you anxious, we don't need them a part of our lives.
No,
If that's your body, that's your gut saying, this person, you don't trust this person.
no, no.
And you need to listen to it. We need to listen to it because it is sort of the higher power saying, check yourself. You're
And
getting off
I grew up in her grass, in her front.
kilter.
So I try to find a little humor in it, like,
Yeah, no, you're definitely vomiting out a negative spirit or negative something.
yes.
Totally. You broke the bond.
Not only like, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say I vomited her out, but also just those emotions that I was holding and not feeling good enough for that person, like just
Right. And that person doesn't make any difference in your daily life. And those are the only people that you need to put in your daily life,
right.
are the ones that positively uplift you
But
daily.
somebody like, if they wouldn't die for you, why would you fight for them? Whatever. I don't know. I can't think of the right little
Right.
phrase, but nah, bye, bye.
Exactly. I actually don't want anyone to evoke that kind of reaction, then I would want to kill someone.
Yeah.
Because I really only need to get that upset when I need to protect my babies, my children, you know?
Yes, and I can do that. I can. You can
Yeah.
too. So yeah, I know you can, and you do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I've done some crazy stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but when I look back, I'm like, that wasn't crazy. That was mama. That was
Exactly. It was. I actually
He
love,
is not taking care, not being the
well, it's not speaking your truth.
right. Yeah.
If you're staying quiet because you're scared of what somebody might say, you're withholding your truth.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to you. You're giving the other person more power than you're giving yourself.
Yeah.
And we have to learn to save that power for ourselves and save that energy for ourselves, you know?
It's like
Um,
putting on the mask on the airplane. You know, they say put on your own mask first. So
yes,
you have to.
you have to. Right now, though, what I'm loving is true power is when you can stay quiet and smile
Mm-mm.
when the other person expects you to react.
Yes, you know, that's a big lesson for me, like over and over, like, because I struggle with, or I have struggled with, like people pleasing or wanting
Oh, yeah,
everybody to like me. And
for
I
sure.
remember there was this group, we're not going to go too deep into this, but you know, and I really just wanted everybody that was like commenting all these negative things or imagining these things about me
Right.
to know what I was meaning, or and I kept trying and it only made things worse. I gave energy to it. So, you know, yeah.
Right. You gave energy to it. And it's
They're,
like,
they're
actually, if you
the flying monkeys, like in the Wizard of Oz. So
flying
one
monkeys,
witch,
you were exactly right.
and then all the flying monkeys
The
come
bully cannot be powerful without their flying monkeys.
out.
They can't. So if you take that power back and be like, let me think about this.
Yep.
They don't like that because you've actually taken their control away.
And in this situation that I went through then, that's been 19, 20, like 3 years ago. Can you believe? What I'm noticing now is that once I took my power back, the flying monkeys are like messaging me, apologizing. And I'm like, I'm not really responding. I'm just
You don't
like,
have to.
no, I'm like,
Thank you. Yeah, you took your power back.
yeah,
To, to find yourself and then to, ground yourself to where you want to be and
and
who you want to be, right?
right. I don't want to be mediocre.
I just- good entertainment.
Now that I think it was good entertainment. I remember when I first got on.
The OG one doesn't exist anymore, so that it's been imploded. They
Yeah.
imploded themselves.
Yes, they imploded themselves. I didn't have anything to do with it either.
No,
So
they imploded
I
themselves.
was gone. Like, yeah, we are our worst enemies. Like, you know, we
We
are.
are. We are. When we listen to
Wait, enough
people,
about some bullies. Enough about the bullies.
I know, rise above it. Enough about bullies. Let's see. What else do we want to talk about?
Well, I wanted you this morning. You messaged me. I gotta open the door. I think my dog wants to come in.
Tickles.
Well, no, I didn't get
Potty.
He's just barking and barking.
I decided to be at my studio and not at my house because it is a zoo over there.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
would never be quiet enough to
I
have
film a lot on Wednesdays because my husband plays golf on Wednesdays.
it's quiet.
And yeah, and I can, you know,
Do your thing.
yeah. So that's why. But that he doesn't always. And then always leading up to it, there's always like a lot for me to do to help him.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Get on the golf course, of course.
Yes, I love it. Wednesdays are my favorite day. Like a couple of years ago, he wouldn't play if it was raining or really cold, and so I
That's
got him, I can't remember if
weird.
it's his birthday or Father's Day or whatever. I got him one of those things that wraps around the golf cart. I was like,
That's perfect.
and a heater. I'm like, no,
Perfect. Yeah.
you have no
No
excuse.
excuse. Exactly. That's good. I like that. Yeah. So this morning I sent you because you touched on it earlier about mantras and your book that you were reading. And I have one mantra that whenever I'm feeling really not grounded in myself is I am that I am. So I use that with my breath.
Yeah,
So I am that is one full breath in, and then that I am is one full breath out.
that's beautiful.
So that I am comes from the Bible. From the Bible,
Yeah,
I specifically refer to probably that I am that's in the Genesis from the very beginning when God created light first, and then he created day and night. So in my mind, I am that light
yes,
that God created.
yeah,
And when he finished all his 7 days, Sunday, his day of rest, he looked back and said, it's all good. Essentially, everything that I created is good.
mm,
So, how I have used it is I am that I am a speck of God, a speck of light created by God. And all things that he creates is good.
everything is good.
So, we're all good.
We're all good.
We are all good. No matter where we are, no matter how we want to judge ourselves up against other people, which is against what he wants. Thou shalt not judge. A lot of people use that as the outward, don't judge other people. But you
Right.
know what? We judge ourselves harder than we judge other people. So trying to release yourself of that is difficult. But every morning I have a little yoga session and my, breath in and my breath out always starts with, I am that I am.
That's beautiful.
Yes. And actually, research this morning, I came up with over 300 times God says, I am that in the Bible. So that's his mantra, right?
Right.
I
Right.
am that. He is omniscient, he is all knowing. Um, he is the one that you should have faith in. And I like to look at it as this transcends over every religion.
Every religion.
Whoever your higher power is, that's your God, right? That's your creator, and that's who you meditate to. Um,
I think you hear
that's
me
a
a
beautiful
lot,
thing.
to go within. Like that's, you
It's spiritual within, exactly.
know,
And until I was able to really sort of acknowledge that really you just have to have faith. Have faith in what? Have faith that your higher power will help you
well, have faith that you're
grow
enough.
and have faith in yourself, right?
A lot of, well, you're one of my single friends.
Uh-huh.
Most of my girlfriends are. It's really, but, and, my best friend, she's always seeking a man, and then getting upset and things happen,
Right,
and I keep trying to remind her, of course, it's easy for me to do, right? But, um,
right. I've been told that many times. It's easy for you to be, single now. You've already been, married and divorced. Oh, sorry.
oh, yeah, yeah. I, I say, like, if something happens with us, I don't want another man.
No.
but I remind my friend all the time, I'm like, do you love yourself? Because it seems like every time something happens with a man, then
She's
she'll blame herself or think something's wrong with her, of why it's not working.
right.
And I'm like, no,
Well, I mean,
not working because all you need is you.
it's her. She is the problem,
Yeah,
but she's got to fix it for herself, not for anybody else.
right.
She can't morph into who somebody else wants her to be.
No, no, no. Ugh,
That's not even going to make her happy.
no.
Um,
Say.
so
Yeah, like this is what I I was reading this morning
mhm.
from Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yeah, I've read a couple of his.
I have several of his books sitting around, but this one I just always like pick up, and it's just got like little sayings in it. But like this, even like talking about forgiveness and that everybody is good. Everything is good. Everything
Right.
that God created is good.
Mhm.
You know, so I try to remind myself that, and that's how I was able to forgive this person. Is that I try to see that we're all really good. We
And
just
it's just communication,
yeah, yeah,
and it's our life experiences, past life experiences.
yes. Because I do believe in that. I believe in reincarnation.
Oh, I
Yeah.
totally believe it. And I believe that we have, I think my son is on his like first life in because everything to him is like brand new. Just he was my second one. Now my first one, she is an old soul.
Yeah, she is.
And pretty much all through early childhood and life, she already knew it. She'd already been through this,
That's my youngest too. Same.
exactly. And it's
Yeah.
interesting because she knows that she already knew. And I know that her and I have shared past lives together because our souls are just connected in a different way than my son. That doesn't mean I don't love him any less. Um, I just I have to teach him things differently than I've taught Bella.
Yeah.
I'm teaching him more of the basics versus, I mean, 3 years old, Bella was cooking. She was
Yeah.
boiling eggs. She knew it.
Yeah. You've done
Where
it before.
she'd done it before. She was a big girl, and Parker's 13, and he's still. I mean, he can do some things, but he just needs a little bit more coaching, a little bit more advising
It's
because he
like
doesn't know it.
like when Rosie was before she could even walk, we would give her paper plates to draw on. Just
Yeah. Uh huh.
deep ones, the real thin cheap
Yeah.
just a circle. And she loved a pen. And she before she could even walk, I have videos of her like holding herself up at the coffee table,
Uh huh.
her paper plate and her pen, and she's holding it just like this.
Oh.
Just like
Yeah. She already knew.
and she was drawing circles, perfect circles, and we would just be mesmerized, like how? Because that her brother was like 3.5 years older, and he's still doing this.
Oh,
Like whatever. But but Rosie
She
always,
she
yeah,
knew.
yeah,
Yeah.
she knew it already. We didn't teach her. Nobody taught her how to hold that.
Intuitively already knew.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Perfect.
And then you never told her that it was wrong.
No.
You encouraged her to trust her own intuition, which I think is important. I think a lot of parents, try to squash that independence, you know,
Yeah.
but those traits that are difficult as children for parents are actually revered as an adult. So, you do need the independent thinker. You do need the leader. You don't need the person that's just going to sit back and be, complacent. as an adult, you need a go-getter. So when you think about the dichotomy of that, you try to control them on the front side, but then you want them to be fabulous on the back side. Well, you haven't let them trust their intuition from the very beginning. And I think you and I have done that for our girls, which I think is cool.
Heck, I even let Billups run away from home when he was 4. I watched him.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, well, okay. I was like, now, where are you going to eat tonight? And he said, I'm just going to go to Mr. Boot's restaurant. Our friend Bert is, up at Hilltop Grill.
Yep.
And I was like, all righty, just knock on the back door. I think
Yeah, okay.
And he just goes down the road and he starts thinking about it like, my mom's really just gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. And they come back. Heck, I even had this conversation like 3 weeks ago with my 16-year-old. She's like, I'm just going to emancipate myself.
Yes.
I was like, all right, well, first and foremost, the judge is going to want to know how you're going to pay for yourself to live.
Yeah.
You're going to have to have an income. So yeah, you need to think about that before you even think about being emancipated. Sorry.
I love these kids. I mean, we were all there at one
Oh
time.
yeah, of course.
It was so funny.
Oh yeah, and this morning at school, Bella was like, well, maybe I don't ever want to move out. I'm like, yeah, 3 weeks ago you wanted to be an emancipated minor. Now you're like, well, maybe I'll stay home. It's not so bad. Like,
I'm looking over your shoulder. There's a sand dollar. Did you paint that?
yes, I did.
How did I not see that earlier this whole
That has been in my personal collection for a long time.
time?
I'm obsessed with sea life.
Yeah. You've got that seahorse. Have you hung it in your dining room?
It's in my down, I think the steps
Okay.
of, but it's in my house. Yeah, I love it so much. I can't. That's where I guess I get fulfilled is the beach.
Yeah, I love the
I
beach.
get more creative, the water, the beach, all that good stuff. So
I love natural things. So that sand dollar.
yeah, I have. Let's see. This is another favorite. Do, 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 do.
Oh, people will love this.
So these are my oysters, my stuffed oysters that I love so much.
Yeah.
These are all hanging at my other house, and this sort of house isn't as coastal-esque.
Yeah.
But I love like the sea glass, the colors of the sea essentially.
I love it so much.
Everything that's nature just brings me
Mhm.
joy.
Well, where can people see kind of maybe pictures of your work?
So the easiest way to, I guess, see things and sort of get my personality is my Instagram, which is called The Blushing Socialite. I guess, what did I say? It's like the musings of an antisocial socialite.
Yeah.
Which is sort of funny because you get that.
I totally get it.
We're technically should be socialites, right? But
I like to be in my home. I just want to be in my home.
I know.
And I just, people can come and see me.
Yes.
Or I was just saying this at the festival when you came Saturday. Was it you I was talking to about that? I said, I'm fine as long as I'm on this side of the table.
As long as you're on that side.
But I don't want to.
I know. So
My husband's always like, don't you want to walk around the festival? Don't you want to go see everything? And I was like, no, I'm good.
No, I went and saw the people that I wanted to see, and
I'm good. I'm just
that
gonna
was it.
In my booth, and people can come to me. And and by the end of the day, I'm so drained. I shared it on YouTube. Like I was almost in tears. Like the next day, I didn't get out of my pajamas all day long.
Well,
I was talking.
You probably also picked up on people's energies. Yeah. I pick up people's energies. I try not to look at people in their eyes because I'll like their energy will come and connect to me.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it.
I would say you at a festival totally
Yeah, it's very
get
difficult.
drained of your energy.
I look at old pictures of me, like, doing, like, tastings or like, speaking engagements and
Yes.
things that I would do in Atlanta or wherever, and, I mean, I look back at those old pictures and I go, "Golly, you look so tired," and I remember being so excited at the beginning of the day, like, to do this, but then after a while, you're like, "Oh,
It's adrenaline that you're excited about, and then,
yeah,
physically you're like, "I'm done.
I'm done."
I'm done."
Even, like, the farmer's market I used to do every Saturday in Atlanta, I don't think my
Yes.
husband ever understood because he could just
Oh,
do that. He didn't pick up on anybody's energy. Like,
yeah,
he could just do it, come home, then go to a football game. Go to a
exactly.
football game,
And you're
football
like,
game.
"No,
And I would come home and just be like, "I can't."
yeah,
I'm
uh-uh.
like, Lifetime movie, please,"
I'm
or
done for the next day. 48 hours. I need a
yeah,
48 hour
I need that.
reboot,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, you
Yeah.
almost feel sick, like, just
Oh,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Drained, nausea,
Uh-huh.
definitely. So, yeah, the easiest way, I guess, to get in touch with me is the Blushing Socialite. It's fun. Um, and you can send me a direct message there. And you can set up a private appointment to meet me up at my art studio. And we can usually sit down. Um, like you said at the beginning, is getting to know the person.
Yes.
And sometimes, if I know I have a piece that'll be perfect for them, that's one thing. But then, like, I sold painting a couple weeks ago to a woman who lives in Fresno, California. Son plays tennis for UGA. Went over to this little house that they're redoing, and I was like, "Oh, well, you need this, you need this, you need this, you need this," and it, everything worked together all over the house, which is what I love about my stuff. Is no matter where you put it and what you put it with,
It
it's
it
gonna work.
it's gonna work.
Mhm.
I'm
So,
still working on this back here. I've got to get things for my windows. I've got to,
yeah, no, I love it.
I'm still working on stuff. You can see over there, I hung my father-in-law's hats.
Yes,
I'm
very,
working. I'm
and
just,
your plates too.
yeah, I'm trying to,
I think it's cute. I love the collage.
everything has to like mean something in my
I
house.
agree. I
So,
agree.
so I'm still working on it
No, I
all.
think it looks great.
Like the little antlers, they were found here on the property, and
So cute.
I mean, it is what it is. It's
I
it's
like it.
it's
I
getting
think
there. But anyway,
I
um,
think it's
yeah. Oh, and what was the other thing? Oh, yeah. Well, talking about how people can come and meet you at your studio.
yes.
Here is the studio.
Oh, yes. So my studio is in downtown Watkinsville, sort of off the beaten path a little bit, but still in the city limits. It's in a big warehouse off of Industrial Boulevard. And sort of, I guess, Industrial Boulevard connects Highway 15 with Barnett Shoals, right on the south side of the railroad tracks. So I'm on the industrial side of the tracks.
I know where you're talking about. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So I am fortunate enough to have built long-term relationships with people, and I'm family friends with the people that own this, and have been very blessed that they had some room and a spot for me to come up and live my little art dream.
Yep. Oh, I love it. I
And
love it.
that's one of those life lessons that I was able to teach my daughter is see the someone I met 35 years ago, 30 years ago, 30, 35 years ago. And I connected with them, always made positive impressions.
Yep.
And, now when I really needed them, now they're able to give back and, bless me because they've been blessed.
That's because that spark you talk about that God created
Mhm.
light, the spark, I believe is energy. Like we're all energy. And so your energies just worked together 35 years ago,
Yeah,
and they're always going to work.
I agree. They're always going to be there. And the one thing I guess I've shared with employees that I've had, and I share with my kids every day is, if what you are going to say does not positively impact the situation, keep your mouth shut. Don't say it. It's your choice.
Yep.
If you are going to be snarky, if you are going to be judgmental, if you are hangry and you're just going to be snappy,
Yeah.
it's unnecessary. Don't say it. And I think a lot more people should use that.
Yeah, because that's something in the Bible. There is power in the tongue.
Yes. And a lot of times, um, some people might laugh at this. I will tell people your words hurt. It might not be your intention, but it did hurt.
That whole sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me is a lie.
Why?
That is inverted. That is
Backwards. Totally. I agree. Because it does, words can and will negatively affect someone.
for
And
whole life.
you are exactly right. Your whole life.
Whereas a punch in the face.
You can heal.
Yes.
You can get over physical.
I mean, I'm not downplaying like domestic violence or anything like that.
No.
But
But like girls, cattiness, back and forth.
yeah, it lasts. It lasts. I still remember shit from high school.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it does. And if you just be a day maker, not a day breaker.
I love you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
People are gonna love. They're just gonna love you, and I'm gonna try to share some of your pictures of your paintings. I'm
Okay.
gonna figure that out. I'm just now learning how to edit these videos. I really
Yeah.
I'm doing.
No,
So,
I'm impressed.
I'm gonna try.
This is my first time doing this, so I'm just impressed.
I know that I can at least get this video on YouTube, what we
Right.
got, but and maybe a thumbnail at the beginning. But
I mean, yeah, I do this because I love your energy and I want creative, spark to continue. And people can find me. I'm not worried.
well, I love you and I love your art and I love it's way more than your art, but I want you to do well with it. I know that since you're not going to be at the salon, Andrea was at a salon and
I just needed to take some family leave.
Yeah.
I have a lot on my plate.
Family leave. We got to take care of ourselves, and that was draining her creative
my energy that I needed to spend towards my family. So
that's what I'm gonna say. But sometimes we just gotta take the road less traveled.
we do.
Yeah.
But on that, 2 weeks ago, there were big things happening. And I looked at myself and looked at God and I said, I hear you knocking. I'm open and I'm willing to see whatever sign you give me. Yeah. And 2 hours later, my boss called me and was like, I know that you're really overwhelmed in your life. And, you need to de-stress it somehow. And, it hurts sometimes. But then thinking about it, I was like, that was God's answer to my prayer. And I can't not listen this time.
Yeah.
Because he'll take you out of the game and he'll make his point heard. You just need to, if you listen quicker, it's going to be less painful. So
well, I believe that you are about to be super blessed.
Well, thank you. I try to pay it forward and I try.
Being in your sweet spot, doing what like what's making you feel good. This is how you ground.
It is. I get to choose and only do what brings me joy every day. And I think that we need to empower more women and more people that it's okay to make that decision.
Yeah.
You know, is
You
it a
don't have to do the
lifestyle?
same thing over and over. Like when you said you walked out of your salon that day
Yeah,
so many years ago and you were just overwhelmed and you just knew, like, I'm out of
something
control.
changed.
Yeah.
But I think being an entrepreneur like you, um,
People think I'm crazy. Like I have so many times like people have said, why aren't you delivering to all these stores anymore? And why aren't you? I was like, I'm just getting it. I'm taking it back to being small again.
yeah.
I don't really want it to be big. I'm not trying to grow it. They're like,
Well, you just want to
wrong with you? And I'm like,
you just
nothing
want to
is
touch
wrong with
people.
me.
Yeah.
That was controlling me.
It was controlling you. I totally agree. People don't understand that
Yeah.
sometimes when you get too big, you have zero control of your life. And that sucks.
And I love like sometimes getting these emails from these store owners and they'd say, if you can't,
Right.
get your product here in a more timely manner, then we're just gonna have to find another pickle. And I'm like,
All right.
bye.
Then you don't get the essence of me.
Yeah, it was nice knowing you.
Right.
It was fun while it lasted, but
Yeah. I'm a small
my mantra
handcrafted.
is if it ain't fun, don't do it.
Don't do it. I agree.
So if
Yeah.
this is gonna cause me so much stress working with you, then
I'm sorry.
fine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
still like I'm always here. Like I'm still here if you want to work with me on a much
Different scale. Yeah. Small craft, small batch.
yes, for real.
No, I agree. But being a strong entrepreneur is trusting yourself and knowing that you can open and close many businesses and still be a successful business
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
There's every successful entrepreneur is not standing behind the counter of their first job or their first store or their first, brand that they created. Um, everyone evolves, everyone moves.
Yeah,
So
evolution is real, but evolution is not what we were told in
no,
school. This
no,
evolution coming into our own, becoming like
yeah,
blooming.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like your lotus flower,
Yes.
right? You're
Yeah.
drinking your lotus flower. I
Mhm.
still haven't thought, I
Oh,
haven't.
yeah, the dream I had. You got to do something about that,
Well,
Andrea.
I will. I mean, obviously, I haven't forgotten about it.
My dreams are crazy.
I know. I have it visualized. I just can't. My brain can't put it to my fingers
It's
yet.
all right because it was my dream. So,
It's like I know
hey,
that it was a dream, and I know
have
that
you ever painted a horse? Because I dreamed about a white horse and then a white unicorn not too long ago too. So, but I like the lotus the best. So,
uh well, I have to get you Leon first.
yeah, I need my cow. Need my cow for my porch.
I know.
So
We'll have to.
behind my swing.
We'll have to like hashtag like Chick-fil-A or something. Like, hey, Chick-fil-A, you need this cow.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Eat more chicken.
Eat more chicken.
Exactly.
I
So
love this so much. I have another meeting coming up in about 35 minutes. So probably need to get
I
ready
do
for that.
too.
I gotta cook for that one.
Oof. Yeah. I gotta clean this area up a little bit for mine, but
In my high-tech studio here,
I know.
I turn my laptop around and
Your
it's
kitchen. I
it's
know.
all gonna be right here.
I think you and I have talked about,
And just like that.
oh, it's so cute. You and I have talked about something to put above that range before.
Yes, yeah, we did.
And I still have sort of a fun little idea, but
Yeah. Yeah, I need stuff.
I sort of wanted to incorporate like some sort of vintage tractor or vintage like
Uh-huh.
farm equipment
I like
and
that.
paint maybe something on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's my feeling. One day that feeling will come into that. We're in the research and development stage of that painting.
We are
The
in the
R&D.
development. This is gonna be fun. Anyway, I
All
love
right, I
you
can't
so
wait to do it again.
I'm gonna read this just because this is what I read this morning and I loved it. This is like how I So at first, you say to yourself, may I be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May I be safe and free from injury. May I be free from anger, afflictions, fear, and anxiety. And then pick that one person that you're like, that person's was an asshole. May asshole be peaceful, happy, and light in body and spirit. May asshole be safe and free from injury. May
Wow.
asshole be free from anger, affliction, fear, and anxiety.
Wow, that's
So
really
good.
profound.
Now I made up that part.
No, I love it though, because
Like to
it
put
does.
that person, put somebody else, like that thing that you're like, oh,
Right. No, for
it
sure.
changes the whole, it changes everything.
It does change it, doesn't it?
Mhm.
That's nice. I love that. No, it's forgiving your enemy also gives you
Yeah,
peace,
freedom,
right?
peace. Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
right. So, all right, well, let's do this
Well,
again.
yes, we will. Yes, we will. I love you so much.
Love you. Mwah. Bye, guys.